सेव किया था ना?
मैं सिर्फ इसलिए गया था क्योंकि उसने मुझे कॉल किया, that's it. But listen तो.
Save it for someone else.
जिंदगी में सेव करना जरूरी है, मगर जब बात पैसों की हो, सिर्फ सेविंग से काम नहीं चलेगा। इक्विटी म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इन्वेस्ट कीजिए और अपने सेविंग्स को आगे बढ़ने का मौका दीजिए।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
While it is tempting to stay with Israel and the Middle East, and in fact I was inclined to talk about Lebanon today, which I consider to be among the most well-located, beautiful countries with a very talented people, but also with the misfortune of the geopolitics of the region where it's located. But we'll come to that a couple of days later. Right now, elections to 5 states have been announced, the dates have been announced, and there is a lot of interesting politics playing out there. I won't say this is the semi-final before the final, because as we have noted several times before, these days what happens in state elections does not necessarily reflect on what happens in the parliament elections that will follow. We saw that last time between 2018 and 19, and once again there are no guarantees. In fact, there are no indications that what happens in these state elections will then be carried forward to national elections. So as they say with mutual fund advertisements, as a disclaimer there says, past performance is no guarantee of what happens in the future. Nevertheless, these are elections to 5 states. These are very important states. Don't just count Mizoram out. Mizoram might have only one MP, but the fact is that Mizoram is very crucially, critically and strategically located between Manipur and Myanmar and Assam. And Mizoram has been a very stable state. The ruling party there is an NDA ally. So each one of the 5 states is important. Today we are focusing on Telangana, and the reason we are focusing on Telangana is that looks like, from all indications, it looks like that Telangana has had some dramatic shift in the situation. Telangana is one of those states which has a very dominant regional party. So TRS, which has now become BRS. So T for Telangana has now been replaced by B for Bharat. So much before the BJP thought of starting to use Bharat instead of India, the party, KCR's party, K. Chandrasekhar Rao's party, started using Bharat for Telangana. That came also from Chandrasekhar Rao and his party having national ambitions, because after all, if you are strong, powerful, and KCR is somebody who's risen from the Congress tradition, he has a network among national politicians. He has also stayed out of the India grouping. That's because he sees himself as a leader of consequence, and he thinks in case of a split verdict, he will have his chances. Nevertheless, the indications that we have right now, and this has come around time elections have been announced, dates have been announced, indications are that he probably is not doing as well as before. He's still ahead. Looks like from all accounts that you get from the ground, including from our correspondents there, he still would look ahead, but it seems that there has been a surprise. So that surprise has 2 aspects of it. One aspect is simply that until now, it had looked like the BJP was rising in Telangana, and that BJP was becoming the second party in Telangana, as it might have done in some other states where the Congress has declined. But Congress's decline, that's the other part of the surprise. The first part is that the BJP, which had seemed to be rising, does not seem to be doing so well. It seems to be struggling right now. Now, why that has happened, how that has happened, that we'll see in the course of time. It's not for me to say that. I can only give you some turning points in terms of what happened when. At the same time, looks like Congress has made a recovery. So Congress now looks like not just a challenger, the main challenger to BRS in Telangana, but at least according to one opinion poll, and this is the opinion poll by CVoter published by ABP News, at least according to one opinion poll, Congress party is right now ahead of BRS. Now, I know this is just an opinion poll, although the sample is not small, sample is rise by the standards of single state opinion polls, and it's not a very big state. Telangana is a low medium sized state. States which send MPs between say 10 to 20 to national parliament. Telangana sends 17 MPs. So Telangana, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Punjab, Haryana, these are states generally in a similar ballpark. Now in that state, CVoter sample size is 11,928, which is not bad, and also CVoter is quite an accomplished agency, so they know how to draw their samples and they know some science of psephology. Once again, psephology is a very uncertain science or a very uncertain craft. You can call it, you can choose the description that you prefer. So I'm not saying that what they say is going to happen, but their findings are startling. Their findings are startling in the sense that they are showing the Congress party ahead of BRS in Telangana. In fact, their survey shows that Congress party might get 48 to 60 seats. Remember, it's a house of 119. So 60 is the majority mark. 119, 60 is the majority mark. So their survey shows Congress getting 48 to 60 and BRS getting 43 seats to 55 seats. So it's behind Congress. So according to this survey, Congress is ahead, and BJP, we just told you that looks like there are lots of indications that tell us that the BJP has not only not sustained its momentum, but that momentum has flagged and the BJP's march has fallen off, right? Or BJP's rise has fallen off. So BJP is 5 to 11 and then there are others 5 to 11, which might include a few, the survey does not specify it, but which might include a few for Asaduddin Owaisi's AIMIM. They got 7 seats the last time. So a 48 to 60 out of 119, it puts the Congress party ahead. Again, when it comes to voting percentages, this survey shows Congress party having a positive swing of 10.5 percentage point. That's a lot. 10.5 from 28.3 to 38.8. I'm using full decimal, full figures after the decimal. I'm not rounding off anything because one should not do it. Usually one should do it for ease of understanding, but not in situations like this when margins are so narrow. So Congress goes up from 28.3 to 38.8. That's an increase of swing of 10.5. BRS on the other hand goes from 46.9 to 37.5. That's a negative swing of 9.4. So obviously a lot of that, some of that at least goes to the Congress party, but it's also true that the same survey shows that the BJP's numbers are not falling. It's just that BJP had too few votes the last time. So BJP goes from 7 to 16.3. That's an increase of 9.3. So it is possible that BRS is losing votes both to the BJP and to the Congress party. But it's also important, and I will give you the data as we go along, that it looks like compared to what the BJP polled in 2019 Lok Sabha elections, BJP is also conceding a lot of votes to the Congress party, because 2019 elections had given us the impression that BJP had now moved into Telangana as the second party. BJP had won 4 seats in 2019 Lok Sabha elections. Congress party had won only 3 seats. Owaisi had got 1 seat and KCR's party, then TRS, had got 9 seats. That makes for 17 seats, which is all the seats that Telangana sends to Lok Sabha. But now it looks like a lot of those voters have gone back from the BJP to the Congress party. Once again, if you look at some more data points that this CVoter poll has thrown up, KCR, who's your favorite choice for Chief Minister? KCR, who's been Chief Minister now in his second term, so he's got double incumbency going against him. Still 36%. He stops at 36%. Revanth Reddy of the Congress party, watch that name. Revanth Reddy of the Congress party, 53 years old. He's got 34%. So he's very close to KCR. And then Bandi Sanjay of BJP is 15%. And then notionally Owaisi at 2%. Now we have to understand some intricacies of Telangana politics also. Until the rise of the BJP and until the crisis that Congress party had in Andhra, what used to be the combined Andhra state or united Andhra state, until the death of YS Rajshekhar Reddy, until then the Congress party ruled this state. It ruled the combined Andhra Pradesh. That means the current territory of Telangana as well as Andhra Pradesh. That was the Congress party bastion. After the death of YSR and then the departure of his son Jagan from the Congress party, and Jagan, as we know, formed his own party. Since then, the Congress party declined rapidly and decisively in the region. In Telangana, they still had some support. So in the last election, as in 2018 winter, Congress party had actually signed up an alliance with TDP, and there were big expectations that the two parties will now do quite well. In fact, I do remember at that point, it's something that I've told you before, but I was traveling in that election with Prannoy Roy of NDTV, and I asked Rahul Gandhi then that your alliance with Telugu Desam Party, Rahul Gandhi and Chandrababu Naidu were together at that time at one of their rallies in Hyderabad city. And I asked Rahul Gandhi, is this alliance about chemistry or arithmetic? And he said it's about both chemistry and arithmetic. But you know what? It did not work for chemistry or for arithmetic. Out of 119 seats, Congress party got only 19 and TDP got only 2 seats. It was a wipeout, and KCR got 88 seats in that election. So that's the kind of head start KCR had. And after that, when in Parliament, BJP did better than the Congress party. They got 4 seats compared to Congress party's 3. Again, an impression grew that BJP was the party on the rise in Telangana. And then other things happened. In 2019, in Lok Sabha election, I told you BJP won 4 seats. BJP got 19.6% of the vote. So what was 7% in assembly elections went to nearly 20% now in parliament election. And that, it looks like, was vote that had mostly gone from the Congress party. In fact, one of the 4 seats that BJP won was Nizamabad, won by Arvind Dharmapuri of the BJP, defeating KCR's daughter, K. Kavita. And that was seen as a big statement made by the BJP. BJP, in fact, in the assembly election had won only 1 seat. After that, some other things happened. For example, there were some by-elections. And more than the by-elections, December 2020 was the municipal election. That is the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation election. Now, if you might remember, if you are an old watcher of CTC, you might remember that we had done a whole episode of CTC just on a municipal election. And I had then said, look, there has to be a reason why we are dedicating an entire episode of Cut The Clutter to a mere municipal election. That's because that municipal election showed the needle moving in Telangana towards the BJP, and in that election Congress party had been marginalized, and not only did the BJP do very well, they ran KCR's party really close in Hyderabad, and Congress party was decimated, didn't exist. In fact, the BJP did so well that KCR failed to get a majority of his own. There were 150 seats in Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation election. This is December 2020, of which the BJP got 48, whereas previously they only had 4 seats. From 4, it became 48. TRS had 99 earlier. 99 earlier would make it 2/3 of 150. Now he was down to 55. 55 out of 150 is not a majority. How did he still retain power in Hyderabad? The only reason TRS was able to retain power in the city, the main city in his state, was because Asaduddin Owaisi's AIMIM, All India Majlis-e-Ittehadul Muslimin, they won 44 seats. As we've told you often, Owaisi owns the inner city of Hyderabad. So he got 44 seats, and he then aligned TRS. Then aligned, what used to be TRS is now BRS, aligned with AIMIM, and then they've been controlling power in the city of Hyderabad. What happened to the Congress party? They had 2 the previous time, they got 2 again this time, but you know, where did they come to 2? Before, in the earlier election, until the state was split, Congress party had 52 seats. So what was Congress party's 52 became 2. What was BJP's 4 became 48, and that's how the split took place in the city. So this election again made it look like the BJP's rise was relentless in the state. We were starting with the starting point was the Lok Sabha election. At the same time, the Congress still had some core vote, a sizable core vote in the state. So even in Lok Sabha elections of 2019, where the BJP got more seats than the Congress party still had a vote percentage of nearly 30%, that is 29.79%. TRS obviously at 41.7%. BJP had nearly 20%, as I mentioned to you earlier, 19.6%, and AIMIM just about 3%, 2.8%. That's because their vote is concentrated in the city. It does look like now that Congress has built back on this base of 29.79, which survived even the big BJP wave, and Congress party is drubbing by the TRS on the one hand and BJP on the other. Congress party was caught in that pincer for seats in 2019, but looks like it retained that nearly 30% vote share and has added to it now. And that's how it's looking a little bit ahead according to the CVoter poll. It's looking a little bit ahead of BRS. Once again, health warning, that is not to say that an opinion poll means an election is done. In that case, we will not be holding elections. And second, these are very early days. So please do not jump to any conclusions. Usually, we would have thought, or initially we would have thought, the BJP's performance in 2019 was just Modi wave because Narendra Modi was himself on the ticket. But some indications came in afterwards that the party was doing well. I told you about the GHMC poll. But even before GHMC poll, there was a by-election result, Dobaka by-election result. Now this was an old TRS seat, and a TRS member, Raghunandan Rao, joined the BJP. Now here is a man who had a consistent record of losing. 2014 and 2018, he had lost the seat in assembly elections, and 2019, he had lost Lok Sabha elections as well. And now he won this seat. So it did look like BJP was now striking deeper roots in the region. He had contested for the BJP earlier in 2014, 2018, 2019 for Lok Sabha, 19 for Lok Sabha. He had lost all three. So by-election was caused by the death of the sitting TRS MLA, so it was a TRS seat. Now with the BJP ticket, Raghunandan Rao won. So this was seen as one more indication that the BJP was rising. Then 2021, we are now leapfrogging 1 year after this by-election and after the GHMC election. November 2021, Itala Rajendra, who was a minister, I think health minister in the TRS cabinet, he resigned, joined the BJP, contested from Huzurabad, and he also won that election. So once again, another indication that the BJP was doing well, or BJP was becoming the preeminent opposition to TRS. Then things began to change. Then you jump another year, November 2022, and things began to change. It seems there was first sign of change. That was the Munugode by-election result. The Congress MLA there resigned. The Munugode by-election was caused because Congress MLA resigned and joined the BJP. This resulted in a by-poll which was now won not by the BJP. In any case, it was now won by TRS. And as you can imagine, BJP would have put a lot of resources behind this because they were trying to claim a new state, or at least they were trying to claim the Congress's place in a new state. But in this by-election, KCR also threw in enormous resources and all his might because he did not want to see the rise of the BJP, and BJP was defeated. Since then, it does look like that the BJP has had some setbacks. For example, there was resentment against the BJP's party chief, Bandi Sanjay, who was quite popular also. He was then removed. And G. Kishan Reddy, who was a minister at center, he was made the state chief, once again defying the BJP convention of one person, one post. G. Kishan Reddy has continued to hold his ministry in Delhi while being the party chief in the state. Some of the instability or some of the challenge came into Bandi Sanjay because Itala Rajendra came in from TRS and he also wanted space in the BJP, and he was an outsider, and that dissension has become so evident that in Narendra Modi's rally on October 1 at Mehboob Nagar, many former MPs going back to say Vajpayee era, many former MPs did not attend. After that is October 1, just less than a fortnight back. After that, the BJP tried to do some damage control and it set up 14 election committees. Have you heard of that before? I don't know. 14 election committees, and it had some innovative committees, manifesto committee, coordination committee, publicity committee, etc. You can understand. But there was also an agitation committee. There was a charge sheet committee. So this was obviously done to accommodate a lot of the disgruntled elements in the party. Now that disgruntlement, it looks like, has gone deeper, and if these opinion poll results are right, and these are also indications from the ground that Congress party has not quite disappeared as many had expected it to. In fact, if anything, Congress party is revived. Has it revived sufficiently to defeat KCR, who's very well entrenched? We don't know. It's too early to say any of that. In any case, we will not know before December 3 when votes are counted. But indications are that in the state of Telangana, there's been a power shift for the number 2 position as of today. That is from the BJP to the Congress party. Now, usually, if you look at Congress party's political history, recent political history of the last 30-35 years, when they are out of power in a state for a long time, not for one term, say 10 years or more, they find it difficult to bounce back. So if they do so in Telangana, it will be quite a remarkable thing, and that is the shift in Telangana that we should watch very closely. Now, as a result of that, what's happened is that because Congress sees itself on the rise, they have now declared a list of 6 guarantees. They had 5 guarantees in Karnataka. They have 6 guarantees here, and I'm not going into the details of those. Maybe by the time all major parties, all major contestants in these states have listed their own promises and their own welfare programs, or what is sort of loosely called freebies. I don't exactly like these being called freebies or reveries for that matter. When that happens, maybe we'll do a separate standalone episode of Cut The Clutter just talking about these schemes. But Congress, if they had 5 in Karnataka, they have 6 now, and to almost everything that the Congress has promised or guaranteed, KCR has added something. So if the Congress says LPG cylinder at 500 rupees, KCR is now promising at 400 rupees. So you can also see who KCR is now seeing as his main rival.